Zero over. Lieutenant General Dr. D.P. Watts. D.P. Watts. Sri Neeraj Rangi. Neeraj Rangi.
सर, आपकी इजाज़त से मैं एक महत्वपूर्ण मुद्दा सदन से साझा करना चाहूँगा। अकाल के कारण, सूखे और अतिवृष्टि के कारण जो नुकसान कृषकों को और क्षेत्र को होता है, उसमें स्टेट डिज़ास्टर रिलीफ फंड के तहत जो गठन किया गया है, उसमें वर्तमान में एसडीआरएफ के मापदंडों के अनुसार केवल लघु और सीमांत किसानों को ही इसका लाभ मिलता है। ऐसे में जो परिस्थितियां होती हैं, दुर्भाग्यवश ऐसे कई किसान हैं जिनके पास में ज़मीनें नहीं हैं। कुछ ऐसे लोग हैं जो भूमिहीन हैं, वो अपनी फसल किसी और क्षेत्र में बोते हैं और उनके जो पशु हैं उन्हें भी कई तरह के नुकसान होते हैं। ऐसी परिस्थिति उनमें अधिकांश रूप से जो है दलित, आदिवासी या पिछड़े वर्ग के लोग अत्यधिक हैं। ऐसी परिस्थितियों में उन्हें भी इसमें समायोजित किया जाना चाहिए और इस रेफरेंस में राज्य सरकार ने लगातार गृह मंत्रालय को, भारत सरकार को यथासंभव समय समय पर जो है सूचित भी किया है। सूखे की परिस्थितियों में कृषकों की फसलें जो हैं पूर्णतः नष्ट हो जाती हैं और ऐसे में जब चारा नहीं होता है तो पशुओं को खिलाने के लिए जो है चारा उन्हें प्राप्त नहीं होता है और ऐसे में वो व्यक्ति जो है वो पशुओं को खुला छोड़ देते हैं और उन पशुओं को उनके रखरखाव के लिए, उनके चारे की, उनके खानपान की व्यवस्था जो है वहाँ के क्षेत्र के स्थानीय गौशालाएं जो हैं वो करती हैं और कुछ परिस्थितियों में वो लोग अपने पशुओं को पुनः वापस लेने भी नहीं आते हैं। ऐसे में उन पशुओं की देखरेख पूरे वर्ष वही गौशालाएं जो हैं वो करती हैं। मेरा इसमें निवेदन है कि भारत सरकार, गृह मंत्रालय के जो एसडीआरएफ जो नॉर्म्स हैं, स्टेट डिजास्टर रिलीफ फंड के जो नॉर्म्स है, उसमें पैरा 6 में जो पॉइंट है उसमें भूमिहीन किसानों के पशुओं को सहायता प्रदान करने एवं गौशालाओं को पशु शिविर के रूप में शामिल करने हेतु आवश्यक संशोधन किए जाने का अनुरोध है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू नीरज जी। श्रीमती शांता छेत्री। Oh, good. At least one member is following the advice.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for allowing me to speak. I would like to draw the kind attention regarding the recommendation made by the West Bengal government by their letter number dated 28 February 2014 for granting of scheduled tribes status to 11 communities living in Sikkim and other Gorkha-dominated states and areas. Sir, this is the voice of Darjeeling and Tarai dwellers and not Bengal. As per the Government of India on 15 June 1999, further amended on 25 June 2002 has laid down the modalities. As per the modalities, only those proposals which have been recommended and justified by the concerned, the state government, UT administration and concurred with by Registrar General of India and National Commission for Scheduled Tribes are to be considered and legislation amended. In consequence, the state of West Bengal has recommended and justified. Sir, I humbly urge the August House to seek a detailed explanation whether the recommendation by the West Bengal state government has been concurred with by Registrar General of India and National Commission for Scheduled Tribes. And the reason for extreme delay in the interest of 11 Gorkha backward tribes within which time frame the legislation be amended. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Santaji. Sri Vaiko, associate, please send your slip. Vaiko? Nahi hai? There.
Zero over.
Yes.
Honorable Chairman, with your kind permission, I will draw the attention of the House to a very serious matter concerning the lives of the citizens of India. For the past 38 years, our fishermen from Tamil Nadu are attacked repeatedly by the Sri Lankan Navy. Their boats are destroyed. They are killed in the sea itself. And what happened when there was a cricket match between India and Sri Lanka, in the sea itself, they warned the fishermen, of our fishermen, if we lose the match this time, nobody will go home alive. You will be killed. The same happened. They lost the match. We won the match. The next day, the 4 fishermen were cut to pieces and their bodies were floating in the seas. I went to every house of the village and the women were weeping and crying. This is going on for the past 40 years. When 2 Italian fishermen were killed by mistake, what happened? The Supreme Court itself intervened and 2 crores of rupees was compensated to the affected families of the Kerala fishermen. Now, I would like to request the government what sin the fishermen of Tamil Nadu have committed. When Gujarat fishermen are attacked, Indian government takes very serious concern. Now, sir, even yesterday they were attacked, our Indian fishermen, our Tamil Nadu fishermen. This has become the order of the day. Every day it is going on. I would request the government of India to take a serious note of this and to stop this attacking and killing of our fishermen. Thank you, sir.
Right, Wako. Sir, Associate Naam भेज दीजिए. Sri Aramaram Karim and Dr. V. Sivadasan, you have to share time.
Yes, sir. Thank you, respected Chairman. I am raising an important issue related with ICDS, NHM and midday meal. Now it is known as PM Poshan scheme. Workers who are engaged in these schemes. They are serving women and children of this country. Their services are extended to more than 20 crore children under 14 years and around 3 to 5 crore women get the basic right to food and health through these schemes. Sir, around 60 lakh women, 26 lakh Anganwadi workers and helpers, 27 lakh midday meal workers and 10 lakh ASHA workers deliver these services to each household of the country. But they are not recognized as workers. They are still treated as volunteers and giving a meager amount as honorarium. The minimum wages are not extended to them and no social security or pension schemes are extended. Every year, budget allocation is getting reduced. It is very unfortunate, sir. In 21-22 and 22-23, budget allocation is drastically reduced. In these circumstances, I request through you, sir, a minimum wages, it is recommended by 45th Indian Labour Conference, that is 26,000 per month, and other social security benefits such as pension and other social security schemes also should be extended these workers. Today, thousands of these scheme workers are conducting a dharna at the capital city, raising these issues. So I appeal the government to look into this matter.
Right. Sivadasan.
Chair. Sir, now in Delhi we are welcoming spring season. But how the spring will come to the lives of the young children in our country? Anganwadis are the gardens of the children. They are growing there. We are seeing the union government is not ready to provide the financial assistance for proper drinking facility, proper space management and for proper arrangements of the amenities. The workers and helpers in Anganwadis are getting only meager amount as salary. So the fixed salary of a worker is only 4,500. The union government is only providing 60% of that. That means is 2,700. So this is very low. The fixed salary of the helper is 2,250 and the union government is providing only 60%, that is 1,350. Majority of Anganwadis are working without proper space. Sir, they don't have basic amenities. Our finance minister has said 2 lakh Anganwadis will be modernized, but there is no provision, budget
Right,
provision.
Shivadas,
Sir,
be brief.
so I am requesting to the government, sir, the intervention of the government is very necessary. We need to protect our garden and protect our young children. They are facing lot of problems because
Right.
malnutrition and other things.
Thank you.
So the salary of the teachers of Anganwadis will be increased, sir. This is my request.
Thank you. The others who are raising their hands, please send your names so that they can be included. Sri Venkataramana Rao Mopidevi.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. Sir, naval events and naval exercise are necessary tools for securing allies and improving Indian naval capabilities, sir. All the coastal cities in the country take pride in welcoming a naval exercise or events to their cities. But the restriction imposed on fishing and fish trading during these events are affecting the livelihood of fishermen, sir. Fishermen fishing for a longer duration ranging from the 1 to 2 weeks might not get several affected. But traditional and small motorboat fishermen, depending on daily fishing activities, are financially affected during the naval events. Moreover, the restriction on the sale of fish and the harbor and other areas near the venues of naval events would impact the financial condition of small fish traders, sir. Therefore, through these honorable chairmen, sir, I would request the Union government to compensate the fishermen for the loss, including due to the imposing of the restriction by the government on fishing and fish trading activities during the naval events and naval exercise at Visakhapatnam, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. P. Wilson.
I rise to bring to the kind attention of the House about the crisis which the state of Tamil Nadu is going through with regards to the pending dues from the Union government. India is Union of States and the Tamil Nadu is one of such states. It is pertinent to note that the Union government, through the non-distribution of funds in various schemes including the GST compensation, owns to the government of Tamil Nadu an outstanding amount to the tune of rupees 20,287.38 crores under 38 heads. Chairman, sir, I will read 17 heads, please permit me. GST compensation comes to 9,842.58 crores. Customed millets rice subsidy comes to 2,203.25 crores. MNGRA comes to 1,360.74 crores. Jal Jeevan Mission 1,086.05 crores. This PMAY comes to 964.21 crores. Then grants for rural local bodies comes to 799.80 crores. Then scheme for development of scheduled castes for the pre and post metric scholarship comes to 704 crores. Implementation of smart cities comes to 584 crores and grants for the rural local bodies comes to 420 crores. Then Sarva Shiksha's Abhayan elementary education comes to 370.64 crores. Then the state disaster responsive comes to 204 crores. Then old age pension comes to 127 crores. Then per drop, more drop comes to 125 crores. Secondary education, the amount comes to 115.27 crores. Midday meal comes to 113.18 crores. Flexible communicable disease comes to 109.59 crores. Thus, Chairman, sir, about 20,287.38 crores is not given to Tamil Nadu government and the amount is due. Chairman, sir, in Amrut 2.0 scheme, the allocation of funds to the state of Tamil Nadu is not adequate for this financial year when compared to the other states of ruling party. The Honourable Minister is requested to kindly look into this issue.
Please.
When the amount realizable under the GST compensation is enormous and the Union government is not going against the GST Act 2017, when the Union government took away the powers of the state to collect indirect taxes by legislating GST tax, it was on the promise that the state shares would be promptly paid. It was on this premises the state consents were obtained by delaying payment. The Union government, by is committing breach of trust and is violating the undertaking made on the floor of the Parliament. The state of Tamil Nadu and the people have been ignored. The Union government has to look into this issue immediately and release the funds to the state of Tamil Nadu so as to ensure that there is smooth functioning, implementation and running of the schemes and achieve the respective objectives. Thank you, Chairman, sir.
Sri Ajay Pratap Singh. Hi.
माननीय सभापति महोदय, नशा एक सामाजिक बुराई है और नशे की प्रवृत्ति की रोकथाम करने के लिए समय समय पर सरकारों ने अनेक उपाय किए हैं। बिहार और गुजरात जैसी सरकारों ने तो संपूर्ण शराबबंदी भी लागू की है, लेकिन इन दिनों बाजार में नशे का एक नया उत्पाद है कोरेक्स। कोरेक्स खांसी की दवा है, लेकिन इसका उपयोग खांसी से ज़्यादा नशे के लिए किया जा रहा है। इसका सेवन करने के पश्चात मन मस्तिष्क शून्य हो जाता है, शरीर शिथिल हो जाता है और आज हमारी युवा पीढ़ी इसका अधिकाधिक प्रयोग कर रही है। इसी तरह आयोडेक्स है, आयोडेक्स को भी ब्रेड में लगाकर हमारी युवा पीढ़ी इसका सेवन कर रही है और इसके माध्यम से उनके शरीर पर भी विपरीत असर पड़ रहा है। इसलिए मैं आपके माध्यम से सदन का और सरकार का ध्यान इस ओर आकृष्ट करना चाहता हूं कि इन दोनों ही उत्पादों पर सरकार या तो प्रतिबंध लगाए अथवा इसका नियामकीकरण करे, जिससे कि इसकी बिक्री नियंत्रित हो सके और जो मर्ज के इलाज में जिसका उपयोग होता है केवल उतने तक ही इसकी बिक्री सीमित की जा सके। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सभापति महोदय।
मंत्री जी कौन है? हेल्थ मिनिस्टर ना? ये कोरेक्स और आयोडेक्स हेल्थ मिनिस्टर में कैसे? लेट हिम टेक नोट एंड देन brief me later. Sri Sushil Kumar Modi and Vijay Sai Reddy, how to share time.
सभापति महोदय, इस समय देश के अंदर बैंक फ्रॉड के 100 से ज़्यादा केसेस पेंडिंग है फॉर द कंसेंट विद द डिफरेंट स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स अमाउंटिंग टू ₹50,000 करोड़। और ये चीटिंग, फॉर्जरी, मिस अप्रोप्रिएशन और बैंक फ्रॉड के जो केसेस हैं और राज्य सरकारें इसके इन्वेस्टिगेशन की अनुमति नहीं प्रदान कर रही हैं। और मैं सदन को बताना चाहूँगा कि यस बैंक नाम का जो बैंक है उसके 3,664 करोड़ के 5 केसेस पेंडिंग है पिछले 1 साल से, जिसमें IL&FS के ट्रांसपोर्टेशन वर्क्स, IL&FS के मैरीटाइम इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर और एनर्जी डेवलपमेंट और CEO और राणा कपूर जो यस बैंक के CEO थे 1,353 करोड़ और चेयरमैन MD राणा कपूर के 225 करोड़। तो केवल यस बैंक ने 5 केसेस रेकमेंड किया है फॉर इन्वेस्टिगेशन विच अमाउंट्स टू 3,664 करोड़ एंड द केसेस आर पेंडिंग फॉर इन्वेस्टिगेशन फॉर द लास्ट 1.5 ईयर। उसी प्रकार स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया के 3,046 करोड़ के केसेस पेंडिंग है। DS कुलकर्णी डेवलपर्स 433 करोड़, कॉक्स एंड किंग्स 624 करोड़, जेट एयरवेज के 1987 करोड़। उसी प्रकार सभापति महोदय, यूनियन बैंक के केवल कॉरपोरेट पावर लिमिटेड जिसके मालिक मनोज जायसवाल 4,000 करोड़, सिक्किम फेरो एलॉयज लिमिटेड 448 करोड़ और PNB के वदराज सीमेंट्स और EMI ट्रांसमिशन कुल सभापति महोदय केवल एक स्टेट, मैं आ रहा हूँ सभापति महोदय, एक स्टेट मुंबई ने, एक राज्य, एक शहर मुंबई में 13,000 करोड़ से ज्यादा के बैंक फ्रॉड के केसेस 1 साल से पेंडिंग है, क्योंकि स्टेट गवर्नमेंट जो है कंसेंट नहीं दे रही है CBI को बैंक फ्रॉड के केसेस की जांच करने के लिए।
नो स्लोगन्स, नो कमेंट्स प्लीज।
और अगर देश के सभी राज्यों को लिया जाए तो दिस अमाउंट्स टू मोर देन 50,000।
विजय साई रेड्डी, आपका टाइम समाप्त हो गया। विजय साई रेड्डी
महोदय,
नो सुशील जी प्लीज, नो allegations will be going on record। आप बैठ जाइए प्लीज, ये इश्यू नहीं है प्लीज। संजय राउत जी, Sanjay Raut, this will not go on record. In spite of my instruction, if people are standing, their names has to be put in the bulletin. Please, this secretariat, take note of the people who are defying the chair and put their names in the bulletin. That is the only way. Right, under place. Sushil Modi, what you are saying is not going on record after this thing is over. Please. Sri Vijay Sai Reddy, half a minute, please. No, this is not proper. After Sushil Modi ji, Mr. Sushil Modi, it will not go on record. Thank you. Whoever defies the chair and goes beyond the time, this side or that side, no side at all. It has to be understood by one and all. Otherwise, there is no. When you people do, they will clap, and their people do, you will clap, and people will laugh at us. Try to understand this. Very serious. I am not saying it for any personal this thing. Please see to it that whenever the chairman says something, it should be followed by one and all. When I say time is over, time is over. This has to be understood by one and all. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to have a properly smooth house. And let the television people and media and secretary take note. Once I say over, nothing shall go on record, nothing shall be reported, and such people should never be supported. Yes. So, Sri Rajamani Patel, it is live is going on. Live is going on. One has to understand. Rajamani Patel. No, you can't help it. Just Vijay Sarid will see some other time. We'll see some other time.
बिंध कला
I'll give you
साहित्य
some other
अकेडमी
time.
के गठन
Some other time.
बाबत मैं सदन का ध्यान आकर्षित करना चाहता हूं। मध्य प्रदेश शासन द्वारा कई विभिन्न अकेडमियों का गठन किया गया है। बिंध क्षेत्र कला साहित्य एवं सांस्कृतिक प्रतिभाओं के क्षेत्र में काफ़ी संपन्न है, लेकिन बिंध क्षेत्र की अपनी प्रतिभाओं को प्रदर्शित करने का पर्याप्त अवसर एवं सुविधाएं प्राप्त नहीं होने के कारण प्रतिभाएं दबी हुई हैं। बिंध के बघेली भाषा और बघेलखंड का व्यंजन काफ़ी लोकप्रिय है। काष्ठ कला, सुपारी, खिलौना कला, नृत्य कला महत्वपूर्ण है। बिंध क्षेत्र के प्रतिभाओं को आगे बढ़ाने हेतु अकेडमी का गठन किया जाना आवश्यक है। मैं माननीय मंत्री से आग्रह करना चाहता हूं कि बिंध की जनता की भावनाओं को देखते हुए बिंध कला साहित्य एवं सांस्कृतिक अकेडमी का शीघ्र गठन किया जाए।
धन्यवाद। श्री राम विचार नेतम, राम विचार नेतम जी है नहीं, राइट। श्री दीपेंद्र सिंह हुडा, फिर नाम बुलाए। एक मिनट, दीपेंद्र जी बुलाए तो खड़े होना चाहिए ना।
सभापति महोदय, मैं सदन का ध्यान एक महत्वपूर्ण विषय की ओर आकर्षित करना चाहूंगा।
माइक, हाँ, माइक इज दैट साइड।
सभापति महोदय, मैं सदन का ध्यान एक महत्वपूर्ण विषय की ओर आकर्षित करना चाहूंगा कि छत्तीसगढ़ खनन प्रभावित प्रदेश है और इस खनन प्रभावित क्षेत्र के विकास हेतु केंद्र सरकार द्वारा प्रधानमंत्री खनिज क्षेत्र कल्याण योजना के माध्यम से राज्य को धनराशि आवंटित की जाती है और इसके व्यय हेतु नियम भी निर्धारित किए गए हैं और केंद्र सरकार ने इस राशि को उपयोग खनन प्रभावित गांव में खर्च करने का प्राविधान भी तैयार किया गया है, किंतु इसकी अनदेखी करते हुए छत्तीसगढ़ राज्य में इस मद का उपयोग अन्य स्थानों के अलावा अन्य मदों में खर्च किया जा रहा है। खनन प्रभावित क्षेत्रों में निर्माण कार्य की जगह कंबल वितरण किया जा रहा है। कलेक्टर कार्यालय का उन्नयन का कार्य भी इसी मद से किया जा रहा है। पूरे छत्तीसगढ़ में इस तरह का गड़बड़ी डीएमएफ मद से की जा रही है। नियमानुसार 7 दिन पूर्व डीएमएफ परिषद की बैठक की सूचना दिया जाना चाहिए, पर ऐसा नहीं किया जा रहा है। प्रत्यक्ष रूप से बैठक किए जाने की जगह वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग की जा रही है। खनन प्रभावित क्षेत्रों से आने वाले जनप्रतिनिधि एवं इस समिति के सदस्यों से कार्यों के प्रस्ताव भी नहीं मांगे जाते और न इसके लिए अवसर दिया जाता है। कार्य में क्रमबद्ध जानकारी दिए जाने की जगह महज औपचारिकता निभाई जाती है। परिषद के संज्ञान में लाए बिना ही कार्य नहीं किए जा रहे हैं। यहाँ तक कि डीएमएफ से कराए जा रहे कार्यों में भारी अनियमितता होने के भी बाद भी उसकी किसी प्रकार की गुणवत्ता की जांच और न उसकी अनियमितता की जांच के बारे में किसी प्रकार की कार्रवाई की जा रही है। महोदय, इस महत्वपूर्ण विषय की ओर मैं आपकी अनुमति से विषय हमने उठाया है और इस पे संज्ञान लिया जाना चाहिए।
श्री दीपेंद्र सिंह हुडा।
सर, माननीय सभापति महोदय, भारतीय सेना में अहीर रेजिमेंट की स्थापना की मेरी मांग उठाने की अनुमति देने के लिए आपका धन्यवाद। सभापति महोदय, यदुवंशी शौर्य का इतिहास किसी के परिचय का मोहताज नहीं। यदुवंशी शौर्य गाथा का संक्षिप्त मैं वर्णन करूं, उसमें विशेषकर मैं अहिरवाल क्षेत्र का भी संक्षिप्त परिचय देना चाहता हूं, जो दिल्ली के डाबर क्षेत्र से दक्षिणी हरियाणा और पूर्व उत्तरी राजस्थान तक ये क्षेत्र आता है। यदुवंशी समाज में जो समाज हल और हथियार से जिस समाज का बहुत पुराना नाता है, और ये अहिरवाल क्षेत्र, इस क्षेत्र में कन कन में कोने कोने में इस क्षेत्र में जय जवान जय किसान का नारा अगर गूंजता है, कहीं प्रतीक है तो अहिरवाल क्षेत्र है। देशभक्त ये इलाका है। जब जब देश में कोई आक्रमण हुआ, इतिहास ये बताता है, चाहे वो 1398 तैमूर के आक्रमण के समय दुर्जन साल सिंह और जगराम सिंह जैसे वीर योद्धाओं की वीरता से आक्रमणकारियों का सामना किया गया हो, चाहे वो 1739 में नादिर शाह के आक्रमण के समय रेवाड़ी नरेश राव बाल किशन के नेतृत्व में 5000 अहीर भाइयों ने सीमाओं की रक्षा करते अपना बलिदान दिया हो, या 1857 की क्रांति हो, जिस क्रांति में अहीरवाल नरेश राव तुलाराम जी के शौर्य गाथा को कौन नहीं जानता, उनकी वीर गाथा को, और अहीर भाइयों की वीर गाथा को कोई नहीं जानता, चाहे उसका खामियाजा भी भुगतना पड़ा। और ब्रिटिश फौज ने उस समय अहीर भाइयों की भर्ती पर रोक लगाई, लेकिन प्रथम विश्व युद्ध हुआ तो दोबारा से अहीर भाइयों के शौर्य को याद किया गया और 19,500 अहीर सैनिकों की भर्ती की गई। द्वितीय विश्व युद्ध में 39,000 अहीर सैनिकों की भर्ती की गई। विक्टोरिया क्रॉस तोपखाने में अकेला हवलदार उमराव सिंह का शौर्य आज याद किया जाता है। लेकिन ये देशभक्त कौम है और इसीलिए सिंगापुर में इन्होंने अंग्रेज ब्रिटिश हुकूमत से बगावत की और आईएनए सुभाष चंद्र बोस जी के नेतृत्व में आईएनए में अहीर सैनिकों ने भर्ती शुरू करी। चाहे आज़ादी के बाद का इतिहास हो, 1947-48 में कश्मीर पर पाकिस्तान के आक्रमण को रोकते हुए रेजांगला 1962 रेजांगला की लड़ाई में 120 अहीर सैनिकों ने 5,000 चीनी सैनिकों से मोर्चा संभाला और चुशुल एयरपोर्ट को दुश्मन के कब्जे से बचाने का काम किया। 1965 के भारत पाकिस्तान युद्ध की बात हो, 71 के भारत पाकिस्तान युद्ध की बात हो या कारगिल की बात हो, अनेकों परमवीर चक्र, वीर चक्र, महावीर चक्र अर्जित अहीर भाइयों ने किए। तो मेरा आपसे मांग है, जब जब देश पे कोई हमला हुआ, आक्रमण हुआ, जय 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 यादव जय माधव का नारा गूंजा। अब समय आ गया है कि भारतीय फौज में अहीर रेजिमेंट की स्थापना की जाए। मैं स्वयं आखिर में अपनी बात समाप्त करते हुए कहना चाहता हूं, मेरा भी इलाका पड़ता है, मैं 17 साल से सांसद हूं, शायद ही कोई महीना ऐसा ना जाता हो कि बॉर्डर से कोई डेड बॉडी, कोई शहीद की डेड बॉडी वापस ना आती हो और शहीद की प्रतिमा।
टाइम हो गया। राइट, थैंक यू। श्री प्लीज कमेंट नहीं करना, किसी को जोड़ना है तो नाम भेज दीजिए, नाम जरूर जोड़ेंगे। ये श्री शक्ति सिंह गो है।
थैंक यू वेरी मच ऑनरेबल चेयरमैन सर। मैं एक बहुत ही दर्दनाक घटना जो दिल्ली के गोकुलपुरी इलाके में घटी, उस विषय को सदन के सामने रखना चाहता हूं। महोदय, दिल्ली के उस गोकुलपुरी एरिया के अंदर झुग्गी झोपड़ियों में रहने वाले उस गरीब परिवार के वहां आग लगी और 7 लोगों की मृत्यु हो गई और कई लोग उस दर्दनाक हादसे में काफ़ी इंजरीज भी उनको हुई। एक वक्त था और जिस पे झुग्गी झोपड़ियों में रहने वालों के लिए फ्लैट्स दिए जाते थे, पूरे मुफ्त में फ्लैट्स, क्योंकि गरीब लोग, बहुत ही गरीब लोग वहाँ रहते, तो पूरे मुफ्त में वहाँ उनको फ्लैट दे के शिफ्ट किया जाता था। मैं आपके ज़रिए सरकार को अनुरोध करना चाहता हूँ कि अभी जो गरीब बस्ती में झुग्गी झोपड़ियों में रहने वालों के लिए जो पुरानी स्कीम थी उसको बदल के पहले झुग्गी खाली करो, 35,000 रुपया पहले भरो, एफिडेविट दो और बाद में सेकंड इंस्टॉलमेंट 1 लाख रुपया भरो। वो गरीब के लिए ये संभव नहीं है। तो इसलिए जो पुरानी परंपरा थी कि मुफ्त में उस गरीब झुग्गी झोंपड़ी में रहने वाले को फ्लैट दिया जाता था, वो करना चाहिए। और महोदय, एक छोटी सी एक और गुजारिश भी है, क्योंकि दिल्ली के कुछ एरिया ऐसे हैं कि जहाँ पे अगर उन झुग्गी में आग लगी तो फायर ब्रिगेड भी वहाँ तक नहीं पहुँच पाएगी। तो उनके इंतजाम रखें कि आग लगे ही नहीं, और अगर कुछ ऐसा होता है तो इसके लिए इंतजाम हो और गरीब लोगों के लिए व्यवस्था हो। धन्यवाद महोदय।
राइट, सिंह जी। मिनिस्टर अर्बन डेवलपमेंट इज हियर, यू टेक नोट। Sri Suresh Gopi. Sri Suresh Gopi. Not there? Right. Sri Iranna Kavari. Iranna. Iranna ji nahi hai? Right. Sri GVL Narasimha Rao. Telugu.
Yes, sir. Sir, my 0-hour submission is about 550th birth anniversary celebrations of legendary Emperor Sri Krishna Devaraya of Vijayanagar Empire. I would like to, I've read out the title in English, sir, so that our friends can understand.
కృష్ణదేవరాయలు పేరు తెలియని భారతీయులు ఎవరు ఉండరు. శ్రీకృష్ణదేవరాయలి విశిష్టతని తెలియని వారు కూడా చాలా అరుదుగా ఉంటారు. శ్రీకృష్ణదేవరాయలు గారు విజయనగర సామ్రాజ్య చక్రవర్తిగా 1509 నుంచి 1529వ సంవత్సరం వరకు పరిపాలించిన 20 సంవత్సరాల్ని భారత చరిత్రలో స్వర్ణయుగంగా పేర్కొంటారు. ఈ 75వ సంవత్సరం మనం ఇప్పుడు స్వాతంత్రం వచ్చి 75 సంవత్సరాలు అయిన సందర్భంగా అటువంటి విశిష్టత కలిగినటువంటి గొప్ప చక్రవర్తిని గుర్తు చేసుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం, వారి గురించి తెలుసుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం ఎంతో ఉన్నది. తెలుగు భాష ఈ రోజుకి ఒక గొప్ప క్లాసికల్ భాషలా నిలబడిందంటే దానిలో ఖచ్చితంగా శ్రీకృష్ణదేవరాయలు గారి స్వయంగా చేసినటువంటి కృషి ఎంతో ఔన్నత్యమైనది. అముక్త మాల్యద వంటి ఒక గొప్ప కావ్యాలని రచించినటువంటి శ్రీకృష్ణదేవరాయలు గారు ఆయన సమయంలోనే తెలుగు భాష పెంపొందించడానికి మరి అనేక మంది కవులని ప్రోత్సహించారు. అలాగే తెలుగు భాషనే కాకుండా హిందూ ధర్మాన్ని నిలబెట్టడం కోసం, వేదిక ధర్మాన్ని నిలబెట్టడం కోసం కృష్ణదేవరాయలు గారు తిరుమల తిరుపతి దేవస్థానానికే కాకుండా తెలుగు రాష్ట్రాల్లో ముఖ్యంగా ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్లో వందలాది ఆలయాల నిర్మాణానికి విశిష్టమైనటువంటి విరాళాలు ఇచ్చి ఈరోజు కూడా హిందూ ధర్మం నిలబడేలా చేసినటువంటి ఒక గొప్ప మహనీయుడు. సో కాబట్టి అటువంటి మహనీయుడు ఆయన్ని గుర్తుంచుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం ఎంతైనా ఉన్నది. 1471వ సంవత్సరంలో జన్మించినటువంటి శ్రీకృష్ణదేవరాయలు గారు జన్మించి ఇప్పటికి 550 సంవత్సరాలు పూర్తయిన సందర్భంగా ప్రభుత్వం వారిని ఖచ్చితంగా కొన్ని కార్యక్రమాలు, విశిష్ట కార్యక్రమాలు, ప్రత్యేక కార్యక్రమాలు నిర్వహించాలని, మ్యూజియంని అలాగే ఒక ప్రత్యేక స్టాచ్యూని కృష్ణదేవరాయలు గారిని గుర్తుంచుకోవటం కోసం నిర్మించాలని, వారిపై పుస్తకాలు, సినిమాలు, టెలివిజన్ సీరియల్స్ లాంటివి కూడా నిర్మించి ప్రపంచానికి కూడా కృష్ణదేవరాయలు గారి విశిష్టతని, ఆయన తెలుగు భాషకి, తెలుగు నాడుకి, దక్షిణాది రాష్ట్రాల్లో పూర్తిగా మరి హిందూ సంస్కృతి నిలబెట్టడానికి ఆయన చేసిన విశిష్ట కృషి గుర్తించాలని ప్రభుత్వం మీ ద్వారా తెలియజేస్తున్నాను. చైర్మన్ సార్, థాంక్యూ సార్.
Gist of his submission is he want the government to celebrate 550th birth anniversary of the great King Sri Krishna Devaraya, who has given importance to culture, arts and also languages like Telugu, Tulu, Kannada and all this. That's his submission. DB, what's up? You came late.
Sir, I regret for that.
Right.
सभापति जी, आपके माध्यम से मैं मेडिकल टीचर्स की एक्यूट शॉर्टेज की तरफ नेशनल मेडिकल कमीशन का ध्यान आकर्षित करना चाहता हूँ. फैकल्टी, फैसिलिटी एंड क्लिनिकल वर्कलोड मेडिकल एजुकेशन के स्तंभ हैं. उसमें मेडिकल टीचर्स की भारी कमी है क्योंकि डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पे मेडिकल कॉलेज खोलने की सरकार का प्रयास चल रहा है. ऊपर से यूक्रेन से जो इवैक्यूएशन हुई है मेडिकल स्टूडेंट्स की, उनके लिए भी एडजस्ट करने की डिमांड उठी है. ऐसे हालात में हमें आउट ऑफ बॉक्स सॉल्यूशन निकालना पड़ेगा, यानी कि ऑनलाइन मेडिकल टीचर्स, पार्ट टाइम मेडिकल टीचर्स, गेस्ट फैकल्टी और जो रिकॉग्नाइज्ड मेडिकल टीचर्स हैं उनकी रिटायरमेंट एज डिपेंडिंग अपॉन देयर फिजिकल एंड मेंटल फिटनेस बढ़ानी पड़ेगी ताकि हम मेडिकल एजुकेशन की डिमांड को हेड ऑन मीट कर सकें. थैंक यू सर.
Thank you. So special mentions, Sri Mahesh Poddar.
Thank you, sir. Sir, the National Disaster Management Act 2005 has been in force since the start of pandemic. The Act has a provision of constituting Disaster Management Authority at national, state and district level, whose members are nominated by the chairpersons of the respective authorities. Sir, currently there is no woman representative in this authority at the national level, and in this regard, I would request the government to make necessary provision to include at least one woman in this authority. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mahesh ji. Professor Manoj Kumar Jha.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman, sir, for permitting me with the subject line, Rehabilitation of Women BD Workers. So, the BD industry in India is unorganized, unregulated, unchecked, and it poses a significant health risk to the workers employed in the BD rolling process. According to the Labour Ministry's annual report 2020-21, there are 50 lakh registered BD workers in India, and majority of them are women. These women work in unhygienic conditions and causing health deterioration in the form of exacerbation of tuberculosis, asthma, anemia, giddiness, postural and eye problems, and this puts them at risk of developing cancers of the lungs and thorax. It has been found that women BD workers are unaware of their rights, which makes them vulnerable to low wage rates, systemic exploitation, lack of social security, and limited access to various welfare schemes. The rehabilitation efforts of the government also had a low impact, with only 2,746 beneficiaries being provided placement in alternative jobs as of 31st December 2019. It is important to rehabilitate more women on urgent basis. The government must play a more responsive role and shift these women BD workers to more rewarding alternative livelihoods. There is a need to organize these women into self-help groups and establish linkages with banks and civil society institutions. The Ministry of Labour and Employment must conduct a study to understand the reasons for the low penetration of the support given to women BD workers and reorient their policy approach accordingly. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Manoj. Dr. Prashant Nanda.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. The topic of my special mention is delayed release of food subsidy by Government of India. Government and state procuring agencies with regard to permissible items of cost for procurement of rice to be borne by Government of India. The anticipated cost is required to be released in the form of advance subsidy at the rate of 90% of admissible claim on quantity basis in the first month of every quarter. Further, the state government, Odisha State Civil Supplies Corporation, the state agency responsible for procurement, shall be paid quarterly provisional subsidy after deduction of the advanced amount. However, the release of advance and provisional subsidy is irregular. Odisha State Civil Supplies Corporation, the major procuring agency of the state government, is to receive rupees 9,317.25 crore as provisional subsidy and advance subsidy of rupees 2,400.33 crores, with the total subsidy claim standing at rupees 11,717.58 crore. The additional interest incurred till 31/12/2021 cumulatively because of delay in release and short release of subsidy comes to around rupees 5,402.61 crore, which remains unrecouped. I hereby draw the attention of the concerned minister for the early release of funds.
Thank you, Prashantji. Srimati Vandana Chauhan. Sorry.
Sir, my special mention is in respect of urgent need to demarcate eco-sensitive zone of the Western Ghats. So the Western Ghats are a globally biodiversity hotspot, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and an important geological ecosystem that needs urgent conservation. Home to over 325 globally threatened species, the Ghats spread over 160,000 square kilometers, containing 50% of India's endemic amphibians, were responsible for influencing the southwest monsoons and contain catchment area draining 40% of the country. In recent years, alarming loss of forest cover and biodiversity has been recorded. Despite two committee recommendations, the Gadgil Report 2011 declaring the entire Western Ghat as ecologically sensitive and the Kasturi Ranjan Report 2014 recommending a reduced area of 56,825 square kilometers, no action has been taken on either of the reports. The NGT order mandating that the Western Ghats be declared ecologically sensitive by December 2020 has also been ignored. Presently, Developmental activities like roads, railway projects, plantations, and increasing urbanization continue unabated. Many forested private lands have been converted into housing complexes and resorts. Landslides have increased due to soil erosion. Infrastructure projects in sensitive areas of the Western Ghats, such as the Hubli-Akola Railways, Mikadatu Project, Indian Neutrino Observatory, and the Kaiga Atomic Plant's expansion, are predicted to incur heavy losses to wildlife and biodiversity. Rivers like Kaveri, Godavari, and Tapi, considered the lifeline of the region, are drying up despite normal monsoon. States need to build consensus to urgently demarcate the Western Ghats eco-sensitive zones, and the center needs to make this happen. Delay to address the destruction of Western Ghats would exacerbate environmental catastrophes and lead to irreversible biodiversity loss.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Srimati Priyanka Chaturvedi.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman, sir. The subject is approval of an additional 8155 Anganwadi Center and 49 child development projects in Maharashtra. I am raising a matter regarding the approval of an additional 8155 Anganwadi Center and 49 child development projects in the state of Maharashtra. The issue has been pending with the ministry since 2016. Anganwadi centers serve as the nodal agency for basic services under Integrated Child Development Services, that is nutrition, health, and preschool education. These centers provide affordable and accessible healthcare, aid in community mobilization, and are integral for eradicating malnourishment. As per National Family Health Survey 4 and NFHS 5, which is 2019-21, the prevalence of anemia and obesity or overweight has increased across all age groups. Hence, the importance of the Anganwadi centers is paramount. It is highly unfortunate that the matter regarding the approval of Anganwadi centers and child development projects has been pending since 2016. A reminder letter was sent to the Women and Child Development in 2019, but no action has been taken in this regard. The proposal is still pending with the ministry for further approval. Therefore, through this House, sir, and through you, sir, I urge the government to consider and approve the aforesaid proposal and reply to the Maharashtra government at the earliest. Thank you, sir.
Sri Abir Ranjan Biswas.
Sir. So my special mention is on need for parliamentary scrutiny on the policy regarding mining in no-go areas. In 2010, a study was done by Forest Survey of India that laid down certain parameters to determine whether areas should be open to mining or not. Some areas were recognized as no-go areas and any clearances granted to them were revoked. This policy was never notified officially but followed de facto. However, the policy was eventually diluted and then abandoned entirely. The current situation is that there is a lack of a policy to determine which of the earlier designated no-go areas may or may not be mined. Some areas are recommended for mining on an executive level via office memoranda. Ministries coordinate among themselves. However, the clearance process keeps getting delayed even after the coal blocks have been auctioned. This delay proves harmful for the forest because the mining companies who win the auctions work to illegally dilute the forest density or acquire forest land and designate it as private land. Due to the environmental clearances being regulated via office memoranda, parliamentary scrutiny is completely skipped. This should ideally happen through acts or rules, and the same should be laid before the parliament. There is a need for central government to provide a clear policy regarding mining in no-go areas. The policy should be brought as an act or rules and should be subjected to parliamentary scrutiny. Further, the ministry should provide the allocation policy for projects in no-go areas and the procedure for clearances of the allocated blocks. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Fauzia Khan. You want to speak in Marathi?
सर पहिल्या राष्ट्रीय लॉकडाऊनपासून प्रवाशांसाठी जवळपास सर्व रेल्वे सेवा रद्द करण्यात आल्या आहेत. परंतु काही सेवा प्रवाशांना पूर्ववत करूनही पुरुष ज्येष्ठ नागरिकांसाठी प्रवास तिकीट भाड्यात 40% सवलत, महिला ज्येष्ठ नागरिकांसाठी 50% सवलत तसेच 12 वर्षाखालील मुलांचीही सवलत थांबवण्यात आली आहे. वाढत्या महागाईच्या दबावाच्या वातावरणात आम्ही नम्रपणे विनंती करतो की सर्व सवलती सुविधा पुनर्संचयित करावे आणि हजारो प्रवाशांना उपकृत करावे. सर, रेल्वेतून प्रवास करणे हा अर्ध्याहून अधिक नागरिकांचा अविभाज्य भाग असल्याने सवलत पुनर्संचयित केल्याने या पैशाच्या तुटवड्याचा भार कमी होईल अशी मी विनंती करते. सर,
Right. He wants that concessions given to senior citizens and women and the children should be restored to pre-COVID levels. There is a message from Lok Sabha Secretary General.
Sir, with your kind permission, I rise to report that the Lok Sabha at its sitting held on 14th March 2022 passed 1. The Jammu and Kashmir Appropriation Bill 2022, 2. The Jammu and Kashmir Appropriation Number 2 Bill 2022, 3. The Appropriation Number 2 Bill 2022, and 4. The Appropriation Number 3 Bill 2022. The Speaker has certified that these bills are money bills within the meaning of Article 110 of the Constitution. I lay a copy each of the said bills on the table.
श्री वीरन्ना कदाजी, वीरन्ना जी, आप देर आए. सुन रहे? मैंने जो कहा आपको समझ में आया? आप जब मैंने आपका नाम बुलाया आप सदन में नहीं था.
हाँ सर.
देर आए. ऐसा नहीं करना आगे. हम बड़ी बताइए.
सॉरी सर, सॉरी. धन्यवाद सभापति महोदय. कर्नाटक वीर संगोली रायण्ण की जन्मभूमि है. जो स्वतंत्र सेनानी एवं योद्धा थे, संगोली रायण्ण कित्तूर साम्राज्य की रानी चन्नम्मा के सेना प्रमुख थे और 1824 में अंग्रेजी के खिलाफ विद्रोह किया था. भारत माता की रक्षा करते हुए संगोली रायण्ण ने आपके प्राणों के देश के लिए समर्पित किया. संगोली रायण्ण के सम्मान में कर्नाटक सरकार ने स्वतंत्र सेनानियों के लिए संगोली रायण्ण पुरस्कार की स्थापना भी की हुई और उनके व्यक्तित्व और शौर्य को आने वाले पीढ़ियों तक पहुंचाने के लिए कर्नाटक सरकार ने 230 करोड़ की लागत से बेलगाम जिले संगोली गांव में 100 एकड़ में सैनिक विद्यालय का निर्माण कार्य प्रारंभ किया है, जिसमें छात्रावास और अन्य सुविधाओं के भी प्रावधान होगा. संगोली गांव में सैनिक विद्यालय की स्थापना से यहां के बच्चों की अच्छी शिक्षा और मूलभूत सुविधाएं मिलेंगी, जिससे वो भविष्य में थल सेना, वायुसेना और नौसेना में अपनी सहयोग देने के लिए प्रेरित होंगे और संगोली रायण्ण के जीवन से प्रभावित होकर देश की रक्षा और विकास के लिए काम करने के उन्हें प्रेरित मिलेंगे. बेलगाम जिला महाराष्ट्र और गोवा राज्यों की सीमा पर स्थित है और इस विद्यालय की स्थापना से महाराष्ट्र और गोवा से भी बच्चों इस विद्यालय में शिक्षा ग्रहण कर सकेंगे, जिससे उनका समग्र विकास होगा और संगोली रायण्ण के शौर्य और पराक्रम को सम्मानित करने के लिए इस विद्यालय का नाम वीर संगोली रायण्ण सैनिक विद्यालय रखा जाए. सरकार से निवेदन है कि बेलगाम के संगोली गांव में कर्नाटक सरकार द्वारा सैनिक विद्यालय का निर्माण का कार्य पूरा होने पर इसके संचालन का दायित्व रक्षा मंत्रालय के अधीन लाया जाए और इसे पूरे देश में एक आदर्श सैनिक विद्यालय की तरह विकसित किया जाए. यह मेरी सरकार से मांग है. धन्यवाद सर.
Right. John Britas is there? No. Mr. M. Shanmugam? Shanmugam ji, this is about a need to transfer reserve fund for capital expenditure and revise wages of Bsnl employees.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I would like to issue raise the issue of the BSNL. When BSNL was created in the group of ministers meeting, it was decided that the reserve fund of DOT that was earned during the past period due to sweat and toil of the workers would be transferred to the BSNL for development and modernization. However, the fund was transferred. Most of the BSNL employees have taken VRS since there was a criticism that the company has more manpower. But still salary is not being paid in the existing employees. This government is written off NPAs and loans corporate companies, but it is not prepared to help its own public sector undertaking. No capital expenditure is provided in the maintenance of running of the tower and generators or battery. Though the workers are motivated and performing dedicated service in the general public, due to the starvation of funds, many services like broadband internet are affected. When the workers were transferred from Department of Telecom to BSNL in 2000,
you have to conclude. Demand. What is your demand?
it was assured that that pension should be revised every year. But the government is not taken any financial support to the BSNL, as well as revision of wages to the employees and revision of pension to the retired employees also.
Thank you.
Thanking you.
Sri Vanada Vena. Mizoram. Not there? Vanada Vena ji. This is about a demand to reopen 3 regional offices of the Food Corporation of India. The state of Mizoram, Tripura and Meghalaya. Veeravar. They are not ready.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Sir. Yeah, I want to speak about.
Okay, you can read.
Yeah.
Whenever I exhaust the names that have been approved, then I go to the remaining names. You may not be aware of this, but afterwards that will be changed. Anyhow, I read out your notice. Okay. So, opening of Regional Office of Food Corporation of India in the states of Mizoram, Tripura and Meghalaya. Okay. Yes. I have told you also yesterday, I am reminding again, whenever the approved list is exhausted, then the other names who have given notice, if time is available, they will be called. Accordingly, I have called you.
You have not given me an opportunity today.
I have given an opportunity, but it could not. I will give you an opportunity. I know, I have already given you one opportunity. You cannot have 2 opportunities same day, because others are waiting. Sri Britas, you want to?
Only 30 seconds you have. Sir, the EPF rate which has been reduced may be reinstated. That is my demand. And the government has done a very bad thing to the workers. Millions of people are being affected, and I would request the government to reinstate the rate.
Thank you. Question number 130.